The most vivid of the symbols, the lighting of the Chanukah candles. This, of course, translates the rabbinic legend of the vessel of oil that lasted for 8 days into a very concrete ritual. So you light the Chanukah menorah and you sing some songs. This is a way of announcing the miracle. People should know that Jews are celebrating a moment of divine love. And so you exhibit the Chanukah menorah, announce the miracle. That was turned into a song. So we sing Haneru Talalu. So before Ma'oz Tzur, we sing Haneru Talalu. These lights are sacred.
Yaba bim bum 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 Hanerut alalu anachnu madlikin al hanisim ve'al haniflaot ve'al hamilchamot she'asita lavoteinu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh al yedei kohanecha hakedoshim ve'choshmonat yemei Chanukah ve'choshmonat yemei Chanukah hanerot halalu hanerot halalu kodeshem.
That there was a survivor from Auschwitz who was interviewed some years ago, and he said that in Auschwitz, in that death camp, they celebrated Hanukkah. His answer was, "Sir, I can live 2 days without food, I can live 2 days without water, but I cannot live 2 minutes without hope." And that to me is the message, the miracle of Hanukkah, that in spite of all of the horror, we never lost hope. So we're going through a horror this year. And I think all of us recognize now with the emergence of the vaccine, there is hope for the future. So we are hopeful this year, and we're going to be hopeful to be back next year to celebrate once again. So thank you, Arthur, Rabbi Everett, thank you all for being here for this very, very historic moment.
Chag Sameach! Joyeux Chanukah! Come on, Leo, help me out here. Spraznikom Chanukah! Rita, okay. Welcome everybody to the, right now must be the 23rd annual Hanukkah menorah lighting at Bowling Green.
Yay! Yay!
Every year is special, but this year is especially special for numerous reasons, like you'll hear in the next few minutes. Today, we are celebrating Hanukkah at a very challenging and difficult time. Welcome.
Ah, you made it. Thank you.
People look around and they say, "Rabbi, it's dark outside. The streets are empty. It's depressing.
Thank you.
It's gray. And I'm down. Why celebrate?" And there's something that the Lubavitcher Rebbe used to point out almost every year on Hanukkah. He said, when do we light the menorah? Not during the day, not when the sun is out. But the mitzvah of lighting the menorah is when it starts to get dark. When it's dark outside. Instead of it coming down, as Jews, our job is to kindle a flame, to add light. And if that is true on the regular year, that is definitely true this year. And if that is true anywhere in this world, it is definitely true in New York, a place which so many people look to. So we have two options. To read the news, you can walk down the street and then go back to bed because it's looking dark. Or we say, we're Jews, we are people that believe in a brighter future. We are going to light a menorah. We are going to kindle a flame we are going to be a beacon of light to our surroundings. Hence, we light the menorah when it starts to get dark. Now, a few of you may have noticed that at the beginning of this evening, we went around planting 24 torches around the circle over here. Which you'll notice, as it starts to get dark, all of a sudden those lights are going to turn on. And myself and a few others marched from across the street to this point with the torch. Rabbi, what are you doing? What is this? So instead of me explaining, I'd like to ask the man himself, the president of the Bowling Green Association, a visionary for this park, a park which celebrates diversity and the epitome of what New York represents. And I think Arthur epitomizes that. So I'd like to ask Arthur to share with us a little bit of the history of this unique spot, together of what we did tonight.
I take the liberty of reading from the great President Abraham Lincoln's most famous speech he delivered at Gettysburg, because in its own way I think it has relevance to what we're doing tonight. We can never dedicate, we can never consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave Jewish men, women, and children who struggled here, who consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, not long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us. The reason I read that today is because we are, after 366 years, finally creating a permanent memorial to the brave, significant 24 Jews who first came to North America and stood right where we are. They didn't stand a mile from here, they didn't stand in Brooklyn or Queens. This was the center of New Amsterdam. Where the great, magnificent Alexander Hamilton Custom House is, was where the fort was. They would have come in on a boat, and this is where they would have walked to before presenting themselves to the fort as people who wanted to stay here. This was the town square. This is where all the business was done. This is where everyone met. Where we're standing right here, those 24 Jewish men, women, and children would have spent much, much time right here exactly where we are. The very first Hanukkah in America was celebrated right here in 1654. There's no other place in America where anyone can say that. It was right here in 1654 that the first Hanukkah was celebrated. Because of the incredible dedication of Rabbi Nizi Eber and the donation by him and the Jewish Learning Experience, we were able to purchase these 24 LED solar lanterns that we will keep in the park now forevermore. My goal, our goal is that now, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 100 years from now, that there will always be 24 candles, maybe not these particular candles, but there will always be 24 candles shining around the fountain in honor of the first 24 Jews to come to America.
Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai.
מזה ימלל ניסה להתבונן בימי מתתיהו בן יוחנן אנוכי אשמח אסיס בדומי הגדיל לעשות עם בני חשמונאי רמו על רמים נגלה בסיני רכבו ריבותיי עם אלפי שיני
Yai dai dai.